He's get the win 99-73 over HBU as they improved to 4-1 on the season. And now we are joined by head coach Buzz Williams. Coach, as always, congratulations. It seemed like in the half court as you guys looked to get great and perfect in the first half, got a little stagnant and the ball stuck, but you were able to get into rhythm in the second half. Did you make adjustments in terms of the entry angles of ball screens? It appeared that it was more wing-oriented. How did you basically dislodge the basketball?
That's pretty good, Laaser. We did run some quick hitting stuff to get it to the wing so we can hurry up and get it to the other side. We shot 74% on perfect and great shots, 37 attempts. And we shot 26% on good and bad shots, 13. 2 bad, 11 good, 26 great, 11 perfect. It's a distinct difference, right? Like what we were talking about last night on the radio show. And I think that some of that is fueled by our defense or lack thereof. In the first half, they shoot 50%. In the second half, they shoot 38%. And our guys don't understand that 12% is ginormous in a half. And that's what we got to figure out. You know, we've been talking since we got back from New York. Is that a St. Louis shot? Is that a Washington shot, right? And our guys are picking up on that. And to an extent, some of them are holding one another accountable, which is a good sign of maturity. But like I told our team tonight, were we St. Louis in the first half, Washington in the second half, were we Jekyll and Hyde within the same game? And when you look at, on me, Beatty didn't play in the first half, but yet he was really good in the second half. And I know his numbers say he was really good, but he was really good down there defensively. And same thing with PJ. PJ was playing spot minutes because of KJ's. I'm trying to protect him foul trouble-wise. And then in the second half, he's so much better guarding 44. And you look at him and you go, he can't guard 44, but then he does guard 44. And so we've got to continue to, like I told the team, I think we have a lot of weapons, and I'm encouraged in many respects. But we've got to continue to grow, and we can't go one step forward, 2 steps back. And I think primarily that's got to be defensive related.
Well, you look at Beatty and you look at Horn. I mean, what valuable minutes those guys got, especially PJ when he was trying to go up against the big fella, and Beatty was so efficient in what he was doing, hustle plays and whatnot.
I love Beatty, and I probably haven't given him the benefit of the doubt the last 5 days. But when you watch tape, everything that he is doing is literally what he has been told to do. He wants to do right. And to an extent, I think it's the same thing with PJ. PJ's very much an introvert, and so it's hard to read if he's picking up everything you're saying. But on occasion, if you'll give him enough time to talk, he knows exactly what's going on. It's just my problem is I normally don't have enough time for him to talk. And I'm very encouraged by those 2 guys specifically. I think Bibs has been in a really good groove. I think Med's been great from start to finish. All of his turnovers, some of them were not great, talking about a Med.
You realize Bibs had 3 rebounds, which was he only had 2 the whole –
he had 1 through 68 minutes of play entering tonight, and I made sure I told him and our team that. He's played 68 minutes and had 1 rebound. Again, he's our best defender. He's typically going to guard the best player, and so he's not always going to be in a position to rebound. But our issue collectively is we have to rebound, and it's not Bibs, it's all of us. When the opponent shoots, we can't give Houston Baptist 12 offensive rebounds when they scored 11 of their 73 points on putbacks. We can't do that. And some of that also leads to our fouls, right? Because we're not in a position to get the rebound. They get it. And because we're not in good defensive position, it leads to a foul. And both of those hurt what we're trying to do.
I want to go back to Justin Bibbs. 25 points, that's not an abnormality for him when he shot the lights out. But I like the breakdown, and I wanted to get your thoughts on the frequency of his shots from outside. Obviously, if he can hit threes, great. But you look at it tonight, and he gets the majority of his points inside. Same thing against Washington, the majority of his points from inside. And it seems like he's really taken to heart what you've said. Last go-around, you've got to be a more all-around player. You've got to be the guy to get the ball to the paint and facilitate the offense. And it seems like he's taken on a lot more of that this year than last.
I think Bibbs is a really good player, and what I tell him, what I say to his parents, I need to not take him for granted, right? Because I know he's good. And so it's like, hey, you be good, and then let's try to figure out how to add some people to you. Can really shoot. What he's getting better at, and he spent a lot of time this summer, and I think that it's starting to click because he's seeing it happen in real life, is as he drives it, where is the help coming from? When the help comes, that's the next play. Most of the time he has been in his career on the receiving end of that. And now we're running some action for him. Not that we haven't ran other stuff before, but we're running stuff for him. Make the decision now. Is it your shot or is it the next guy's shot? And his efficiency in that is really good. I thought this was Five's best game. I thought his mode was right. I thought his mind space was right. I thought his energy was bordering on contagious. We need Five to be really good. And defensively, we've got to figure out who are the right guys to help us get stops when we have to have stops. Turkey is three stops in a row. We had one in the first half. In the second half, we had 4. That's a lot. If you get 7, mathematically, it's 97.8% you win the game. If you get 7. We got 4 in 20 minutes. Well, some of that has to go on me, right? Who are the groupings of guys that when we have to have a stop can get a stop? And what happens to me is I have too many preconceived ideas of these guys are really good offensively. And I think we'll probably score enough points. Can we get enough stops? And so that's what we've got to continue to figure out.
You had to love some hustle plays in the first half. KJ was up against the big guy. First to the floor. Yep, first to the floor, and he had a foul on him too. And then how about when Devin goes down there and scoops it up and gets with the Bibs?
Big play right there at half court. Some of that's coming to life. And when our defense is giving us energy, you see more of that. When we're taking the ball out of the net, you see less of that. And so, yeah,
Well, let's move to one of the last areas I wanted to talk to you about. Again, 99-73, the final in favor of Virginia Tech tonight, their 4th win of the season. We talked a lot, and you talked more with your team about accountability for each other on the floor and just in the entire process. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker tonight, he runs very hot in terms of his own self-expectations, and he was hot on the bench. But I noticed in the second half for about 10 minutes, Devin Wilson, who probably didn't have a game that he'll write home about either, spent 10 minutes talking and tutoring to him while both were out of the game, and I thought that was a great microcosm of what you were talking about.
Devin's our MVP, whether he's on the floor or not. I took Keel out for too much of an opinion about a call. I took KJ out twice for the same thing. That's got to go away. That's got to go away now. And I told him before the game, any emotion in a negative way on a blown whistle, you're out regardless of time and score. We got to get rid of that. And that's not Nickeil, that's not KJ, that's Virginia Tech. And we had too much of that in New York, and we've got to – I'm not sure where it came from, but that's got to be flushed out.
Coach, we're 2 days away from Thanksgiving. So much to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
You're going to actually be here for a change and all that. Well, what's your favorite food?
I love pumpkin pie. I love sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top with no pecans in it. I'm not big on turkey, but I really like ham, particularly if it's sugar-cured ham. I'm from the country, so I'll eat country ham if you want me to. Scalloped potatoes. She's standing right here. I think we're going to the farmhouse. She may cook that morning. We may get some oatmeal that morning. Odds are we won't since we're practicing that morning.
Calling out Miss Corey.
No, that's my girl. If you live right and the intent of your heart is right, I think every day should be Thanksgiving.
Well, you like
Absolutely.
turkeys when they equate to defensive
Yeah,
stops.
that's
So
the
by
only
my
way I like it.
calculations, we got 7 tonight and a win, Coach. Congratulations.
A little
man.
giblet gravy if I have to have turkey. That's what Memo said. You're going to eat some
Juice
of that turkey. We only get it once a year. Can you put a little gravy on that, Memo?
Little gravy on the Hokies' 4th win of the season. Happy Thanksgiving,
Thank you.
Coach.
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese, too.
Yeah.
We love all
Go
those
get a
things
root
as
canal
well.
in there,
Burnop's
Wayne.
liked everything that he's mentioned thus far. There he goes, head coach Buzz Williams.